So, okay, video games. Okay, worst video games.
Pac-Man?
No. Defender
No,
back
I
in
like
the 70s.
Defender.
No,
Shut up.
Dude, there was like 9 buttons. The game was you put in 50 cents to play the game.
It was 4 on each side.
I could not coordinate anything. The game was over like 10
course you
seconds.
couldn't, Ted.
The game was it was like the game's over. So.
Yeah, Ted's a guy who can bowl 300 games with both hands, but basically he's a fucking goof dick for the rest of it.
Defender was like the worst game ever.
Doug.
How about Frogger? That was a fun game.
That was
Frogger
was fucking. That was the most stupidest thing. You
love
went
Frogger.
across a street.
I think this is definitively the worst video game. Although it was fun, I did play it. But do you remember the science fiction Dirk, where it was like it was video games, and you'd have to do something, but it was video segments, so you weren't actually playing.
That was like
video game.
like Dragon Lair. Remember,
Yeah,
it was like
Dragon Lair.
it was like Dragon Lair.
Lair.
Remember that was like very progressive back in the '80s, where it's like you did a sequence, like if you pick this option versus it was like this option versus this option, you're like and I always picked the wrong option, I fucking died. And it was like over in like 10. So
And then you went to play Defender.
any video game where you put your money in and the game's over in like 30 seconds because I can't figure it out.
All right, so I was looking up some games, right? Terrible games. And there's a game called Gal Gun. Okay? It was in the 70s. And one of the parts of this, it would encourage you to go look up girls' skirts. You ready?
Oh, no.
Underage girls' skirts. This was part of the game. Yeah, part of the game.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't even know, like, wasn't the 70s Pong? I mean, what skirts were there to even look up?
I never heard of it. I never heard of it.
And there's another one called Gotcha, right?
Wait, they were looking up culottes.
I guess.
Your sister was wearing a culotte in the 70s.
Ted's into my sister, so we're not doing that, Ted, my sister
let's
never
not go
wore
there.
culottes, you sick fuck. Yeah. Okay, so here's another Gotcha. This was kind of cool. You had to squeeze 2 round pink orbs in order to control the action. It was literally titties. It was literally
The 70s was the age of porn.
yeah.
Free love.
And here's
And
something
60s.
that has nothing to do with terrible, but there's a version of Tomb Raider, right, where you can play as a completely naked Lara Croft. No, and honestly, video game people are really fucking weird. Okay, Jack, go ahead.
I do know of a game. I forgot what it's called, but basically, it was like Family Feud, where you'd answer questions, and then they'd have like girls like strip, and one of them ended up being underage, so they took it down, and then
No,
she
listen
sued the
to me.
developers.
Video game people are the worst fucking people of all time. They are. They're worst fucking people of all time.
They make a lot of money though. I mean, with those streamers make a lot of money. I mean, that's like cottage industry. So.
I guess they do. Okay, Teddy, last one. Are you ready? You know the answer to this. Worst airline of all time.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Teddy,
you know
you know this.
Spirit, because they charge
Spirit
they just charge
Airlines.
charge you a lot of hidden fees.
Teddy,
yeah.
Spirit Airlines
all right.
is absolutely the worst fucking airline of all time. They have the most complaints, the most everything all time of every airline ever in the history of the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're about to be bought by the second worst airline of all time, and there's going to be like a merger.
And what's the second worst airline?
The second worst airline is JetBlue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the second worst airline is JetBlue. So JetBlue is trying to buy Spirit Airlines.
So everyone will be miserable.
That's it. You know what? That was the tagline. Some guy said that when these two merge, everyone will be miserable.
I have a story about the worst airline ever.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't want to mention an airline. Let's just call it Delta.
That is terrible. All right. We got to end this because people are just like, hey, man, my car ride is not an hour and 20 minutes. All right. So, Teddy, any last words for today's show?
I really enjoyed our show today, and I want to wish everybody a happy Easter or Passover weekend, and thank you all. That's all I have to say.
Wow. When you are just when you are magnanimous, it makes me fucking puke. All right, Johnny, any nuggets that you would like to leave us with?
I don't know. I feel like I have to say it was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Okay, Oliver
for this
Twist.
show. Yeah, but no, same thing. Happy holidays. Be safe. Enjoy time with your family. That's the important thing.
And download this podcast.
Yeah, no shit. Tell everyone on the planet. Jack, anything for you to say?
Are you sure you're my dad?
Actually, you don't look anything like him. So I mean, I don't want to say. I didn't want to say anything. You're too damn tall and good looking to be his. So I don't know. Oh man. I'm not a DNA expert. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? Neil deGrasse Tyson says it's all a video game, so maybe I was just grabbing the boobies.
Nice.
I don't know. All right. Listen, everybody. Thanks for listening. Tell all your friends, and we will see you next week.